Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beer Review. Sunday evening and work again tomorrow. The weekends, don't they go so quick? I'm looking forward to a week off soon. A week off work, 9 days of absolutely no blooming work. And it's actually, it turns into near on a 10-day break from work. Although I possibly will go in the Sunday either side, just to make sure my plants are okay at work. There's some things that I want to make sure are right, especially if we do have any sort of heat wave. Anyway, the good friends and who we're actually going away with on holiday, three couples going away. Our Lisa and Glenn with Callie, the Doberman. Our friends Angela and Andy, and then there's us, me, the wife, Tracy, and my son Harry, and we're going away. And down to Poole in Dorset. Never been there, don't know what to expect. Looking forward to hopefully some decent cask and craft beer pubs, hopefully. And try and get a few brewery visits in, and just have a nice week away. Dossy week away. Take some eggs and bacon and sausage and cook breakfast and do, whatever you do. So anyway, off to Cornwall now to proper black IPA. I vaguely remember this being in supermarkets years ago. I think it was Tesco's, if anywhere, but it's not anywhere near Nottingham now in any of Nottingham's supermarkets anyway. They picked this up, the Happy Drinkers, in Bristol. It's part of their weekend in Bristol last weekend, a nice 3-day weekend down in Bristol. They had some fun in the hotel room with neighbours, making lots of noises, adult noises, and apparently the woman was screaming like a banshee, and I'm not even trying to replicate the screaming, and then that was one night, then another night there was somebody else doing it, and it's like, oh my god. So yes, obviously the walls are paper thin in hotels, and well, there you go. So anyway, this is proper black IPA, bottle conditioned. Bottle conditioned, usually be careful with that last bit of sediment. On a black beer, I don't think it's going to make any difference whatsoever. But obviously on a tropical, citrusy pale, you're going to cloud the beer, as I found out to my own detriment the other day when I tried to review a beer like that. In any case, you'll have noticed that I've been out yesterday all day boozing. I didn't even spend that much, to be fair. But we had basically a pint in each pub, or sometimes I'll review the wife's beer before she drinks it, which is great for me. But we had quite a few beers, and so I've got quite a bit of content coming to the channel again, which is a good thing because I was starting to get a bit low on the content. Not everybody watches every bit anyway, but it's nice to have some content on there. So here we go. Dive in. 3 minutes 40 seconds. Most reviewers have already finished by now, so I tip my hat to you. I'm only just getting started. These are proper beer reviews. I do me short beer reviews. They appease the people who like short beer reviews. This is a raggy beer review. They're two different beasts altogether. So as we can see, it's a lovely black pour. You would expect a black pour from a black IPA with a finger of, slightly creamy beige off-white head. On the back it does say, and I will read it, as black as stout, but close your eyes and this beer tastes like a classic IPA. Powerful hops dominate the restrained chocolate and coffee notes from the roasted malt. So yeah, St Austell Brewery, 6%, so nice session strength beer. And I must admit, I can actually smell the roasted stuff, the roasted malt straight away. But I can also smell the tropical in the background. Right, let's dive in, everyone. Dive in. like they say, the tropical element, the IPA element, comes to the forefront. And what makes black IPAs so weird in some ways, but different and interesting. Oh, one of these days we'll get down to Cornwall as well. So we are doing a tour of Britain. Like I say, in October we're going to Poole in Dorset. March next year we're going to Cleethorpes on the East Coast. Great Newsom Brewery is the headline brewery for me around that district. And next October, September, October time, somewhere along them lines, we're looking at the Lake District, Bourbon Beer Reviews country. And yeah, we're looking at that area of the world. I want to go around the country. I want to discover Britain's beer, you know, and see what I can get locally. Always trying to have a bit of money just to bring beers back, you know, big beer halls, supermarket beer halls, even brewery beer halls. If I see a brewery with some good beers in, I mean, technically, I'm up for bringing anything back and reviewing it, because to me, it's all new. And if it's new, you know, it's interesting. And especially if it's a smaller brewery, someone who, you know, who a bit of social media would do wonders for. I'll guarantee you now that most breweries, them who know social media, are very, very appreciative of good social media posts and that, because it's free promotion for the brewery. Bad social media where someone's absolutely slagging the brewery off, obviously that's not as good for obvious reasons, but yeah, and you know, the likes of, if you're talking about the Lake District, that is Greg, Mr. Bowman Beer Reviews, part of the world, and he does a lot of beer reviews from his side of the world, and it's great, you know. He's even sponsoring beer casks, and that is an interesting thing to do. Sponsoring a beer cask, I'd do that in Nottingham, as long as it wasn't too pricey, not too much greed behind the move. But yeah, because for him, you know, it's great. It's great. It puts him out there, deservedly so, and it's an interesting move. And I feel a beer of Raggy coming on. Yeah. Yes, very interesting. Yeah. So now I've had bits of tropical coming through. I'm now getting the roasty, toasty element coming through, and the ABV is quite nice as well. And I am at that point of breach. I have no beers that are not review beers. So everything behind me is a review beer. I do not drink review beers unless I've got multiples, and I don't really buy multiples. So all the beers behind me are beers that I'm going to review at some stage in the future, near future, far future, wherever that future may be. But yeah, and so I've either got to push out another beer review a day, which possibly might happen. But until my beer's brewed up in the house, yeah, I'm at that point. And so all of a sudden now, I feel that the cheapest method for me to have a beer in the house is to go back down to home brewing. because it's very expensive to buy beer and lagers from the supermarket. Plus, I can drink, you know, a bit. And yeah, I've got no wines, no spirits. I have got 2 bottles of champagne, but they're wedding gifts, and we will not be drinking them willy-nilly. So yeah, so for the first time in a long, long time, I'm beerless in Seattle. Yeah, homebrewless in Seattle. Yeah, that's why I've done 3 beer kits recently, yesterday. Oh, a brewery I'd love to visit at some stage. Cornwall, it's an area I'd love to visit, you know, go down that neck of the woods, see what it's all about down there. And obviously Skinner's Brewery is that area of the world, Harbour Brewery. And there's lots of breweries, isn't there? I mean, something like 2,500 breweries in the UK. So literally every single blooming town or city's got to have a brewery in, because, you know, they've got to be somewhere, haven't they? And as we do our travels around the UK, I'm very interested to go to these breweries. Oh, that tasting absolutely lovely. I'm loving the blend of the tropical with the roasty toasty flavours. Like I say, black IPA. I still think the IPA word doesn't mean India Pale Ale anymore. You know, I can it when it's black and it's not pale. But it's just that IPA now is just stands for IPA rather than the other. I feel in a lot of ways. That's why the India, it's not called India Pale Ale, it's just called IPA now. I get it. But very nice beer. For me, a good 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, would I drink it again? Yes. Would I leave it on cask? Oh, no, that'd be something. And a local pub near me, Crown End, they did have a St Austell and Skinner's Brewery, last year it was, before Skinner's had their troubles, tap takeover. And it was a good tap takeover. There was some really good beers on. But yeah, that's my review. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers all.